Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our start from scratch tribute run here. And I am on my way to the store because it is planting day, planting month, whatever it is, for cotton today. Month day, same thing for us, right? We do already have the cotton planter over here. I did pick it up last time. Although I'm glad I came over here before I bought it, because when I was looking at the map just now, well, now I see it. A second ago, I was looking at... Oh, I must have been looking at this screen, maybe? I did not see that planter over there. So I was this close to going ahead and buying another one. Or renting another one, I should say. I'm glad I took the time to drive over here first. So there's our seeder, planter, driller, crop maker. We're going to go ahead and get this hooked up. I know we have some seeds back at the farm, but I think most of it is in our actual seeder. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a round of seed to fill this thing up. I forget how much this one takes. It can hold 35-24. So let's grab some seeds here. So we'll just grab, I guess we'll grab 4 bags. We're not going to need the whole thing, but I mean, I don't mind having a little bit extra over here that we can come back and pick up later. Better to have more than we need than not enough. Why did you not? Those, what? Oh, you feel from back there. I was like, why can I not feel when I'm right next to you? I have to back up a little bit. Very strange. I would say that this planter, I mean, I do like it. It's probably just a little bit bigger than we need for our fields, but it is the only John Deere planter that we have available, so that is why we're going with it. I suppose I could go look for mods that give us maybe a slightly smaller version of it. I mean, it's obviously it's fine. We've been getting the job done, but it's a little large for the acreage that we're covering. All right, we do want to make sure we switch to cotton. We're going to keep doing cotton on our cotton fields. But we are, as we've discussed... I love that I just got stuck in a way that I should... I thought I missed it, barely, but maybe not. We are going to switch the soybeans over to sorghum, just to try and do a little bit of crop rotation, see if that fixes our fertilizer issue, and go from there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll see. Can you plant in the rain? I know you can't harvest in the rain, but I assume planting is basically the same. By the way, if you're watching this basically around the time that it is coming out, or like the day after I've recorded it, you probably would have saw on my community post that I've been out sick for a few days. I am feeling quite a bit better today, actually. Kind of one of those weird flu type bugs that, like, my wife and my older son both got the flu, and you know, they went to the doctor, got all the medicine, stuff like that, but they had it hard. Like, they were out for like a couple days, completely out. I didn't actually end up going to the doctor, but I had a lot of the same symptoms, like normal flu symptoms that I've gotten many times over. Let me just turn on the worker just because I'm talking. But it's like it was like a slow burn for me. Like, instead of just having like all the really bad flu symptoms that, you know, you have, and it just taking a couple days and you're like dead for 2 days and then you're fine. Mine was just like, I couldn't breathe. I had all the other normal stomach related issues, not to go into too much information there. But it was like, it lasted for like a week, but it wasn't like I was dying. It was just very like annoying, and I couldn't focus. I was very restless, and it was just annoying. It was more of an annoyance than really anything. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, it wasn't as severe as what they had, but I almost would have rather had the bad stuff for 2 days and then been fine than a week's worth of just bleh. I mean, even now I'm still not feeling completely 100%. My sleep schedule and all that kind of stuff was kind of out of whack anyway, so I'm just been tired, but like I said, definitely feeling better. So hopefully it's all pretty much behind me. And I think I've mentioned this before. I do have 4 children, so anytime a sickness comes into our house with 6 people in the house, it lasts a while. Like it hits us all, and it hits us all one by one. Or actually, usually it's like 2 at a time. 2 of us get it, and then the other 2, and then the other 2. And so we have like 3 weeks worth of illness or something crazy like that. It's kind of one of those weird things. And of course, any disease that my kids pick up from school, my wife and I always get. Which is one thing I will say. I am shocked. And I don't know. None of us, nobody in my family, my kids who obviously have gone to school, I mean, they haven't had masks on at school for most of the year. So it's not like the school's been like super, super, uber protective. It's just they haven't needed to because of where we live. But none of us have had any, as far as we know, none of us have actually had COVID. Now, I don't believe that none of us have had COVID. It's just seems too unfathomable to believe that nobody in my family, me or my children or my wife, I should say, have had COVID. Now, my wife and I are vaccinated. My kids are not. We've gone back and forth on the vaccinating the kids thing. There are some complications related to the vaccine. This is not to say like people should be scared or anything like that. There's some complications that are unique to some medical issues that my children, have had in the past that make us a little bit hesitant to get our children vaccinated. Anyway, so the we're completely open to the idea, but it's just we're trying to be careful with it in regards to like some things like that. And plus, when you have children, like, what if there was an actual, permanent side effect of a vaccine that we just haven't known about? For me to make that medical decision for my children that could affect the rest of their lives, just seems like it's kind of one of the things we just got to think about, right? We're definitely not anti-vaccine, by the way. We've got them vaccinated for every other disease out there. But COVID one, I don't know. So, like I said, they haven't gotten vaccinated, so it still would be shocking for me to think that they haven't had it at all. It's just mind-boggling to think that that's not possible. So I suspect that, honestly, it's possible all of us had it, and we just didn't know because maybe we had a lesser case of a symptom or something like that. Truth be told, the flu was the worst sickness we've had in the last 2 years. So if we did get COVID, it was definitely not as bad as the flu that we got. So or some people just don't get bad symptoms from the COVID stuff, or they're very, very asymptomatic. Oh, how did I miss those? In fact, I even saw some study that said that people that are like extremely asymptomatic, like just basically either didn't get it or like didn't get it enough of a symptoms to be real, like to show anything. Supposedly, there's a theory that those people are potentially better equipped to be studied to see how to make everybody, more immune, or like kind of have get vaccines for everybody based on the people whose own bodies can just handle the disease better. But anyway, and it's possible we just never got it, and it's coming. I might assume at some point in time we will get it, but or maybe we'll get it again if we have already had it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird things to find out, to know about. I do have a family member. I'm not going to say who because I don't want people to like figure things out about my family too much. But I'll just say I have a family member whose doctor told them they cannot get the COVID vaccine. They absolutely cannot. They have a specific condition that makes them very susceptible to issues, complications if they get it. But I think all the rest of my family, extended family, has gotten it. So, I guess it's kind of to each your own. Truth be told, I got it because my work made me get it. And then my work said, oh, but we're just kidding. You don't have to get it after all. So it's kind of one of those weird time periods where they were making everybody get it, and then law stuff changed where, here in the United States, and then it was like, nope, never mind, we're just kidding. You don't have to get it after all. Seeing as I never leave my house, I didn't really care if I got the vaccine or not, to be honest. Or I should say, the only times I leave my house, really, are to go, like, outdoor stuff. I guess if I go get a disease from hiking in the outdoors by myself. I deserved it probably. But I'm glad the vaccine exists because I'm glad, for example, that some of the older family members in my family have gotten the vaccine because I know that they're obviously more susceptible to bad stuff from the disease itself. So I'm very, very glad it exists for those people. Hopefully, I'm trying to talk about stuff like that without getting political because I don't want to get political. That's not the point. Um, Politics should not come into health at all, personally, is my opinion. So just, I think people should do what's best for them. And I'm glad, like I say, I'm glad the vaccine exists. I think it's very important to have. Um, my job said I had to get it, so I got it. Whatever, no big deal. Um, Again, had they not said I had to get it, I probably wouldn't have got it. But that's just me. I'm kind of a weird person though. I'm a rule follower type of person, and like my wife hates it. Sometimes that I follow rules to excess. Uh, it's gonna sound dumb, but like if I go to a grocery store and there's a one door says out and one door says in, I can't go through the outdoor. I have to go through the in, and that's not really a rule. I realize, but but that's like the extreme level that I take guidance, So obviously I take rules pretty far as well. There's only one rule, I should say, or one law or one thing that I will be honest, I'm not necessarily the best at following 100% of the time. And that is, I think I've talked about this before, and that is when I have my Mustang, I mean, come on, it's just so easy to put the pedal down a quarter of an inch and then look up and be like, oh, I'm going a little bit over the speed limit, aren't I? So I definitely had fun with the fast cars. And not like dangerously fun, but just, a little more fun than I probably should have. But I will say most of the time, the vast majority of the time when I'm driving, if I'm in a situation that can, like highway driving, stuff like that, I'll just put on cruise control and I'll just be like, oh, here's my cruise control. That way I don't have to think about wanting to go faster. My car will just go as fast as it goes. And there we go. For me, it's weird, but cruise control is kind of like a video game at this point. Especially the cruise controls like my wife's car had, and then now my new car, my new Bronco, has as well. The cruise control that follows the car in front of you. I don't know why. I like watching the little car on the little display and like anticipating what it's gonna about to speed up because that car is about to get over the way, or like if I'm on a highway, like when do I need to pass this car in front of me so that I can maintain the speed? Like I'll be watching that little car get closer to me, and it's like, when's it gonna start slowing me down so I know I need to get over so that it stays at the speed I want to go. And it's just funny. I don't know. Hey, when you're driving like hours upon hours at a time, you gotta find some way to entertain yourself, I suppose. I don't know why I keep making the worker do this. It's just because I'm talking. I'm kind of doing my own thing. Like, whatever. I don't even have to think about it. Let's just let the worker joke go. It's worth the extra couple bucks of funds for me to just be able to sit here and talk for a minute. Speaking of flu, though, I normally get the flu vaccine. I think because I just wasn't leaving my house, I just didn't go leave my house to go get the flu vaccine. Normally, back when I used to work at my job's location instead of remote, where I work remote now, they would have like a flu shot event every year, and I would just go get my flu shots at work that day of the year. But yeah, now that I have to actually go to a place myself, I'm just like, but then I have to leave the house. And again, I don't mind leaving the house. I just want to go leave the house to go somewhere like nature-wise, not to the pharmacy or whatever. Told my wife, I was joking around. I was like, I was more at risk of getting COVID when I went to go get my COVID vaccine because it was the only time within that entire year that I had been within 10 feet of anybody. That's not, my wife or my kids. We stayed home the entire, COVID early days, we just never left the house, which again is normally fine for me because I work from home. My enjoyment most of the time is from home. Through video games and stuff like that. The few times that we did leave the house, like I said, we went to, why are you not going? We, when we went to like drive up in the mountains or go hiking or stuff like that, where we just, again, weren't near people. So I was literally closer to people when I went to go get my COVID vaccine than I ever had been the entire rest of the year. It sure is rainy today, isn't it? Oh no, all my seeds got washed away. Well, like in a light rain, you wouldn't have to worry, but I would imagine in a heavy enough rain or windy, like if it was windy out, probably not a day to be planting. Even though in theory, the driller, just, I guess what they call it in England or other places, they call it a seed drill. We don't. Maybe we call that here in the United States, but it's not a name that I would normally hear. But anyway, the planter seeder, I'm assuming, is putting the seed underground, right? Like it's putting it within the dirt, not just on top of the dirt. But you got a strong enough wind or enough precipitation, I would still imagine a freshly plopped seed, it's obviously not got any roots or anything like that to hold it in place, could still, vacate the premises, so to speak. But I would imagine a light rain probably wouldn't be too damaging. But I honestly don't know. I really don't know how that all works. Just kind of more of a common sense type of deduction there. All right, let's get you folded back up. We'll obviously be using the other seeder for our sorghum. So we are done with this device. We did have some seed over here. Not a lot though, so it's probably okay that we brought some more over. just to have. Where's my unload? Oh, there it is. I didn't see it for a second there. I was hitting the wrong buttons. All right, so there we go. Done. We do obviously still need to roll, which I guess I could have gotten that other guy rolling while I was sitting here talking away, but that's all right. Let me get that other thing turned back in because we are done with you. Technically, this tractor's probably slightly better equipped for the rolling anyway. All right. Let's grab the roller. Oh, I don't want to buy you. I want to lease you. Glad it stopped me though. Actually, you know what? Random thoughts as I'm sitting here driving down the road. I think maybe I did get the flu vaccine. Maybe that's why mine wasn't as severe as my wife and my son's. Because I feel like when I went and got my second dose of the COVID shot, they asked if I wanted the flu vaccine while I was there. I could be making that up. It just sounds like something I vaguely remember them saying. Who knows? For all I know, you can't get them at the same time. I honestly don't know. What do I know about medical stuff? Is there anything else I got to do today before fast forwarding? I don't think so, right? I should check this stuff though. Nope, nothing there. I don't think there's any contracts we're going to be caring about right now. Hopefully we get these in a good spot this time around. Let's see. Contracts. I mean, there are some good contracts. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, big old giant sewing contract would have been nice to do, but I think we're going to be okay. So I think I'm okay without doing those. I'm going to do another row here, and then we'll do some up downs. All right, we're going to put a cut in there. I'm going to get some of this their stuff rolled out. And next episode, we will fast forward and plant our sorghum for the first time, which is pretty cool. New crop, or different crop, I should say. That's pretty exciting. So I do appreciate you guys watching, though. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.